Hi you guys, it's Ruby from Oofy Scraps, and I am back with part 2 of my road trip little mini album. So if you saw the last one, you'd be familiar with those couple pages I just flipped through. And if you didn't, you can go ahead and watch the first part of this process. I will link it up in the cards, and I will probably also link it down below. But I am working on a cinch album that I put together for a road trip I went on with my mom for her birthday last September, back in 2022. So picking up where we left off, we are leaving or have left the Grand Canyon and we are headed to Horshoe Bend. So Horshoe Bend is on the way towards Zion National Park. I actually don't really remember. Like chronologically, well, I understand chronologically. I don't remember where things all were like on a map, north, south, east, west wise, if you will. But yeah, I'm just going back to this page that I started last time. I have since adhered down the little frame, and then that little token that said wander, I went ahead and stitched that in, and then I also created a little tag that would be a good place for journaling. So I just wanted to tie those loose ends up. Now we're at Horshoe Bend. So you can see in this photo on the left, it's just like a scenery photo, and it's a really, really cool place. It's sort of this bend in the river that goes around like a huge, I don't even know what you call it, like a peninsula, I guess. And it's all this like huge canyon sort of a thing. I feel like I'm not explaining this well. Just look at the picture. You could see what it is. But yeah, I wanted to kind of let the photo, again, do the talking. And I have this really cool gold paper that I used as the background. And I'm using another one of those little vellum tags from Ali Edwards that say last minute experiences because I thought that was perfect for this. It was a very last minute thing. We were heading to Zion and I realized this was like on the way. And I'd seen other people go. I'd seen like it on Instagram and stuff. Other people I knew had been. So I was like, we have to go. So now I'm making another situation like I did a couple layouts back in the first one where I create another tag similar in size out of pattern paper. I just picked this like rust color that has gold foil lines. And I'm putting a little bit of that blue, what's it called? Like baker's twine in it. And feeding that through, I kind of struggle with this. So I'm using a little needle tool to poke through. And I'm just going to create like a little hanging tag situation and make it look like it's tied on there. But I do, again, go ahead and adhere down the pattern paper with some double-sided tape because I wanted it to like not fall over each other. I wanted it to kind of stay sitting where I wanted it. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm just struggling with this string, but eventually I do get it through. But yeah, so the Horshoe Bend was really cool. It was a cool spot also because you just went, pulled off the side of the road, parked in their parking lot, and then like it was like less than probably half a mile of a walk down to the lookout point, and there was railings up and everything like that, and there was a bunch of people, honestly. It wasn't like insanely busy, but it was definitely, there was people. But there were parts where there was a railing that you could like look over, but there were also parts where it was just like the cliff and people were getting like insanely close to the edge, which really stressed me out. But yeah, so I've got the little pattern paper part adhered down, and then I stapled down the string, and I accidentally stapled through to the back side. So I'm just using the little needle tool to pull through those staples, and then I'll flatten them back out. And I'm just going to pull the rest of that twine over and tape it down so it's between the two pieces of pattern paper. So I feel like that works out pretty well. It does add like a teeny bit of bulk, but I don't think it's problematic. So that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, so people were a little scary, like really leaning over the edge, and it made me very anxious. It also made my mom very worried. She like does not like heights. So we were keeping ourselves far enough away, a safe distance, I would say. But it was really, really pretty, and there was a lot of cool photo ops, and honestly the whole like area was really cool, even beside the view. You can see all like the rocks and stuff. It's all this like red sand and dirt, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I am now, the little card to the right is just a 4x6 journaling card. I'm adding a couple of puffy stickers that I thought worked. You can see the other side of that journaling card I had already completed, but I did want to add this little like compass stamp that I had, again from the Allie Edwards travel collection. I was going to use it somewhere else, so I had it pulled out, and then I decided it would look good on that little cluster that I'd already created. And then I went ahead and tucked one of these cute little like half tags that are also from the Allie Edwards collection. It says Explore Your World. I went ahead and added a little bit of the blue baker's twine behind that. And I'm going to add a couple more embellishments from there. Of course, adding a staple. I really like the way a staple looks through a tag when you have like ribbon or string looped through it. So I always, take the opportunity to use my little tiny attacher. That is a tool that I wanted for a while, but I put off getting because I was like, I don't need it. And I use it so much. So it was definitely a worthwhile investment for me. Then I pulled out that little Simple Stories cardstock sticker book again, and they have this like faux washi tape page, and I used a little bit of this like kind of dark red, rust-ish colored. It's like not actually washi tape, it's really a cardstock sticker, but it's sort of washi tape-esque. And so I went ahead and added that so that it looked like the little Explore Your World tag was even more tucked behind. And then I added a little cardstock star and a green, what are those called? Like a little location, a geotag, that's what it's called. Now I'm working on the next side of the layout, and this is actually the little like park map kind of a thing they give you when you pull into Horshoe Bend, and it has like a big photo of it and it says Horshoe Bend. And then I flipped it over. I didn't actually add anything to the first side. I left it blank just because it shows the scenery, I guess. And so I'm going to create a layout on the back side of it. It does actually flip open, but I didn't end up putting anything there either. I just thought it was cool that it showed you the deal. So I'm just going to create like a mini little layout here. I have a Polaroid of my mom and our two dogs, and then I also will include like a printed out photo of us. It's just like a selfie of us in front of the view of Horshoe Bend. So I'm just adding a couple different things. I have this 3x4 card that is like a dark navy color, and it has some cute little flora imagery on it. And I will go ahead, use that rust colored paper again. It's the same paper I used on the other side to create the little mini tag. And then I will get out my little paper or sticker pack again and add some more stickers and just put this little situation together. So I really like this stop. I think if you're in the vicinity of Horshoe Bend, it's definitely worth going. It's really cool, I thought, and it was super easy to get to, like I said. And I just thought it was really nice. And it would be easy if you had like people who weren't as good on their feet. You don't have to be a hiker. It's like a walk, and it's like very clearly on a path and everything like that. So I liked it a lot. I also think this is like near Lake Powell, I think, from what I understand, or at least it looks like Lake Powell, because you can go down the river. I would love to go back and like go stay on the river and like go like boating down, because it's really cool from above, but I'm sure it's also really cool when you're down below, like in the river itself. So maybe on a future trip. But right now I am like auditioning different items. I have that little rainbow thing out again. It doesn't end up going here either. I end up doing that little Wander With Me, what is it called? Tab sticker. And then I added that little flower sticker as well because I thought it went well with the flower print on the card, and also that rust color was the same. Adding another little piece of that rust like faux washi tape. And I added that little backpack sticker also. It doesn't really I guess my mom's wearing a backpack, so that kind of makes sense. I just thought it was like outdoorsy, hiking-ish. And then I'm going to add another one of these. Well, not another. I'm going to add one of these puffy, why do I keep forgetting the name? Geotag stickers. I got those from scrapbook.com. Allie Edwards also made a set of them that was like even cuter, but they were way more expensive. So I was like, I'll just cheap out and get this knockoff scrapbook.com ones. But yeah, and then I added a little word sticker to that Polaroid that says, roam far, wander wide. So I thought that was cute. And then I think that's everything I do. So I'm going to start working on the next page. So this is another like fill in, not like a filler page per se, but kind of like a we're on the way sort of a page. So we're back on the road. This is a photo of us, not photo of us, but it's a photo driving. And I also had this photo of Tonga, our German Shepherd, with his head like on my lap while we're driving. And I wanted to include it, but it wasn't like the cutest looking photo. I just wanted it to be a part of the story. So I'm gonna actually make a little like pull out tag with that. So again, incorporating that rust colored paper. I'm just using it to mat this little photo, and it's kind of a cool photo because I took it while we were driving just out the window, but it's sort of blurry because we're driving, so the car is moving, and it sort of really like it exuded motion. I felt like, like you could see we were driving and the bushes and the scenery out the window was just passing by. So I did that, and then I'm creating just like a little pocket with double-sided adhesive. So I have the little the little piece of paper that I'm matting the sticker of Tonga on, and I'm just putting adhesive around that so that it's like it will tuck behind, as you can see. Again, one of those things where like words don't really explain it, but just watching with your eyeballs makes it clear as day. So I'm just making sure that all functions, and I decided to anchor this photo at the bottom right because of the pattern paper. It's like this cactus succulent print situation. And then I also found this little tag that came in the same paper pack as the succulent pattern paper was from. And so the color scheme worked really well. So I decided to trim some of the matte off of that picture, and then I will put it onto this tag. So it's like a cute thing tucking out behind, but it also like functions as it needs to, basically. So I will do that, and then I will stick the photo right on top of that tag, and then eventually I add journaling on the back. I don't know if you guys watch me do the journaling in this video or if I do it off camera, but I do go ahead and add a little tiny phrase sticker to that photo of Tonga that says, "Find joy in the journey." And I just write about how Tonga and Tiva, so like the motorhome has two, like a driver's seat and a passenger seat, and then there's like a little gap between us that you can like walk into the motorhome itself out of the cab. And Tonga, well, actually Tiva gets road sick, car sick, I think, not Tonga. Pretty sure Tiva gets car sick. One of them does. I thought it was Tiva. But Tonga was like very nervous, especially when we would very first start driving in the beginning of the trip and also just like in the beginning of the day. So he wanted to like be in the front seat. And if I ever got up while we were driving and went to the back for any length of time, when I came back, he would have been in the passenger seat. So, and he's like a huge dog. So it's just kind of like insane. So I just wrote about how like any chance he got, he was in the front, and he always had his head on my lap, and him and Tiva were just like fighting for who could be closer to the front. But now I had this like top left part of the paper that was like very empty. So I wanted to add something up there, just sort of a cluster of things. So I wanted to use this all about the journey stamp, again from Allie Edwards, but for some reason I couldn't stamp it well. So I like tried like 5 times and failed all the times. The center of the stamp like wouldn't get on. So I decided to go ahead and get some paper that's a similar color to the little tag, and I just stamped it out on there so I could get the same effect but cover up my little mistake. And then that was like the anchor for all the embellishments that I added on top. So I'm just adding some double-sided tape, stick the little piece of paper down that I did my stamping on, and I will add some embellishments, like a little cluster. So I'm finally going to use the little fabric circle badge that says "Stop and Look Around," which I thought also made sense because like I was looking, like it wasn't like I stopped necessarily because we were driving, but I did like take the moment to look out the window, capture the moment. So I thought that worked. And then I have this little polka dot circle that's kind of like a throwaway sticker, like not super special, but it was the same kind of greenish mintish tone, so I wanted to add that in. And it also had some colors that were on the spread beside it. And then I added this little scenic route sticker and a staple, and that's pretty much where I leave it for today. So I will continue this album and actually finish it in the next 1, the next part, but I want to give you a quick little flip through of what we've got done today. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.